Students, today I am going to discuss about the emulsion part of the colloidal systems, emulsions and gels, small part. See, emulsions are the colloids, but all colloids are not emulsions. Liquid in a liquid type of colloidal solutions are called as emulsions. That is here, dispersed phase is dP is liquid, DM is dispersed medium is solvent part is liquid. So this is nothing but the liquid in liquid type. Liquid in liquid type colloidal solutions. And to create this type of colloidal solutions, the basic requirement is that is the two liquids must be immiscible. They must satisfy that is the condition of immiscibility or at least partial immiscibility. So that is the emulsions are nothing but the liquid in liquid type solutions. Dispersed phase is liquid, dispersion medium is liquid. 3 and 2 liquids are completely immiscible or partially immiscible. That is, to prepare the emulsion, that is, 2 immiscible liquids are required. So water, oil system like this. So 2 immiscible liquids are required. See, in the emulsion, we are taking the 2 liquids. You can take any 2 liquids. The basic requirement is that they should not be miscible. But the most of the cases, the water is the one of the liquid. The other is the maybe organic or inorganic part, liquid. So water is a common, it is not the compulsory condition, but most of the emulsions are in the preparation, the water is involved as the dispersed phase or dispersion medium. See, based on that is water, and by using the water, the emulsions can be prepared. The other component, the liquid which is immiscible with the water, is called as the oil. Oil need not be your edible oil or that is the coconut oil or like that. The oil means here the liquid which is immiscible with the water is called as the oil. The liquid which is immiscible with it can be a hydrocarbon oil, it can be hexane, it can be pentane, or it can be heptane, or it can be benzene, or it can be toluene, or it can be xylene, or it may be trisol. Whatever it is, we can say what many names, what is there. That is, the basic requirement is the liquidous substance which is immiscible with the water is called as that is oil in colloidal chemistry. If you take that is examples of emulsions in water, so now we can call them as that is water in liquid oil type or oil in water type. So based on the dispersion medium and dispersed phase, that is water plus oil system. I told you what is oil system. Depending upon the major component and minor component, the emulsions are classified into 2 types. So that is type A, first category of this one. That is oil in water type emulsions. Emulsions. These are called as the oil in water type emulsion. Here oil is the dispersed phase and water is the dispersion medium. Major component is this: the oil droplets are dispersed in the water, and the next case is that is and water in oil type. Emulsions, colloidal solutions. Water in oil type emulsions. These are water in oil type emulsion solutions. Here, that is, water is the minor component, dispersed phase, oil is the major component, that is dispersion medium. Water in the form of a small droplets is dispersed in the oil. Here oil in the form of a micro droplets is dispersed in the water system. That is the difference. This is two types of emulsions. How this is prepared? So that is by shaking. Take the water, add the oil, and that is thoroughly stir it due to the mechanical action by stirring, by using the high speed stirrer, magnetic stirrer, or that is mechanically this thing by using the homogenizer, that is a homogenizer machine, that is a bob, that is a where the mixture of these two are passed through the a ball mill type, this one, that is the rotating wheels, that is it mixes and uniformly disperses. So that is to prepare the almost homogeneous mixture. Mechanically it can be carried, or by using the stirrer or anything we can carry out prepare this one. But here also the same thing. So that is the next thing is this is the water and oil system. So this is the water, the oil is added, few drops of the oil is added, both are immiscible. Now by putting the stirrer, it is thoroughly mixed, high speed stirrer. So oil is dispersed with the water in the form of small droplets. Remember, in the emulsion, the oil is dispersing in the water. See, you are breaking each small droplet, micro droplet which is distributed in the water, you can see with the naked eye, or at least you can see with the microscope. The size of the colloidal particle in the emulsion is little bigger than that of normal salts. Sometimes they are visible to the naked eye, or we can see through the microscope. Ultra microscope is not required to see them. Just ordinary microscope is, because the size is bigger than the normal colloidal particles. So this is a dispersed and homogeneous mixture. That's the colloidal system is formed. Now it is called as the oil in water type. That is colloidal system. That is called as the liquid type is called as the emulsion. Similarly, take the oil and add the water and the other way and stir it on mechanical stirring. That is the water is dispersed in the oil, that is in the form of very small droplets, and water in oil type emulsion is formed. Agree. See how to differentiate now we are talking about how to differentiate the oil in water type emulsion and these two. This is the major, here you see the major component is the water. Just edible oil is added and stirred. These are the small droplets there, that distributed in the throughout the colloidal system. And what is the this one? What is the example of the oil in water type? First category of it, milk. Milk is the oil in water type. What is milk? It's a colloidal system, heterogeneous system, colloidal system. What is the dispersion medium? Water is the dispersion medium. You can add the any extra water, dispersion medium. What is the dispersal phase? That is the oil is the dispersal. Liquid oil is fat size. That is fats in the form of the liquid is that is the dispersal in the water. Liquid fats are dispersal. You can see the oil droplets in the milk, dispersal in the this one. The casein is stabilizing the this one. So oil in water type, that is called emulsion. Vanishing cream. Vanishing cream. So these are the example of the that is oil in water type emulsions. Water in oil type emulsions. So this is water is the minor component, oil is the major component. This is the cheese. Processed cheese. Now butter. That is in the butter, in the fat, that the oil is dispersed. So these are all the example of the cold cream. These are the example of that is the water in oil. The oil is the major component in the cheese, butter and cold cream, and oil is the water is the minor component. So these are the example. How to differentiate? So if you take that is the first category of this one, oil in water. This is the oil in water. Here, if it is an oil in water type colloidal system or emulsion, nothing. Emulsion is a colloidal system. Then what happens? If you add the water, so this to this system, if you add the water, it freely mixes. No separation. To this, if you add the water, that freely mixes. But on addition of the salt, that is the further if you add this, that is oil, then separation takes. Oil will not mix with this colloidal solution. That is dispersion medium. Water will mix oil. For example, you take your milk. Add water, mixes. It's not separated. And now you add the oil. Oil will separate. Oil will not mix. Whereas if you come to the second category of that is emulsions, that is the water in oil type. That is main phase is the dispersion medium is the oil. Add oil will mix. If you add the water, that will not mix. That is, if it is a oil in water type emulsion, that is water freely mixes, on addition of the oil, separation takes place. Two phases are separated. Whereas, if it is the water in oil type, that is addition of oil freely mixes with the emulsion, but the water will not mix with if you add the water, separation takes place. This is the first one. The second one is the differentiation between the oil in water type and water in oil type, the emulsions, that is electrolyte is added. If the electrolyte is added, like the sodium chloride is added to this system. If the sodium chloride is added, what happens in the water? It undergoes the dissociation and produce the ions. right? It produces the ions. So what happens? That is in the dispersion medium, that is salt is dissociating and producing the ions. Therefore, what happens? The solution shows conductance, and due to the addition of this, conductance is increased. If it is an oil in water type, an emulsion, on addition of the electrolyte, that is conductance increases. The current carrying ability of that is the colloidal solution increases, conductivity increases. Suppose this is the oil system, this is the oil system, and this is oil, and to this water is added, stirred. These are the water droplets. Water droplets, this is oil. Oil is the major component. See, if you add some like sodium chloride or any other electrolyte, these are insoluble in this is oil. That is, the inorganic salts are insoluble in the oil. Therefore, what happens here? That is, this is, you are adding, but it is not dissociating into the ions. Conductance is due to the ions. So, you are adding the salt, but they are not converting into the ions. They are not increasing the ionic concentration, cationic concentration, and anionic concentration in that is emulsion. Therefore, conductance will not change. So, if it is that is oil in water type emulsion, on addition of the electrolyte, conductance increases. If it is a water in oil type emulsion, on addition of electrolyte, there will be no change in conductance. And this is the second difference. If you take the third one, third property, dye property. So that is now you take a dye, a colored substance, which is soluble in the oil. Some of them are soluble in water and insoluble in oil. Some of them are soluble in the oil and insoluble in the water. Now you take a dye, colored substance, and which is soluble in that is oil, and insoluble in the water. So now what happens to this system? This is the oil, the main body is oil. If the dye is added, I told about the property of the dye is the oil soluble. When the dye is added, the solvent is the oil, therefore dye dissolves in the oil, so the whole of the system becomes the color. The entire emulsion acquires the color because the entire emulsion is made up of oil. The dye is soluble in the oil, so it becomes the colored. Thick color is formed. And whereas the same substance is added to this, so no color, it becomes it do not show any color at all because it is insoluble in the water. It is a colored material but insoluble in this, that settled here, and if you shake or if you do something, a little it may go into this one, but those droplets are very less and totally the system is without, they do not show any color. These are the three properties. One is we are adding the water. If you add the water, it's the oil in water type system. Water mixes with the oil in water type, and same water and addition of this, that is water in oil type, that is water is separated. You take the oil and add to the oil in water type system, so it will be separated, it will not mix, but oil will mix with that is water in oil type colloidal system. Third one is electrolyte. If you add the electrolyte to the oil in water type, that is the conductance increases, whereas the same electrolyte in addition to that is water in oil type, conductance will not change. I told the reason. Third one is take a dye which is soluble in the oil, and that is when it is added to the water in oil type system, the entire colloidal emulsion system will become color, acquire the color, show the color, whereas if the same dye is added to the oil in water type colloidal solution, that is, and it will not show the what any color at all because it's insoluble in the water. These are the differentiating tests between the oil in water type and water in oil type colloidal solutions. And next one is, I told the examples also. That is cheese, butter and cold cream come this category, and milk and vanishing creams come under that category. And now the question is, say how to prepare the colloidal solution here or the emulsions. I told you emulsions are prepared by thoroughly mixing that is dispersed phase and dispersed oil and water. Dispersed phase and dispersed medium. Very high speed stirrers are used to this one, or homogenizers are used to homogenize, to make the what dispersed phase, the disperser in the, that is dispersion medium. So this is the case. But here I told you this is the, let me take the what oil in water type emulsion. Thoroughly stirred, they are dispersed, oil particles are dispersed in the form of micro droplets in the, that is water system, oil in water system. So the Brownian movement is possible, that is they move from one place to other place. And now what happens, the emulsions prepared by this way are very unstable. They collide. When they collide, the small particles combine and convert into the bigger particles and it moves to the suspension level. That is, the emulsions that are just prepared by mixing the dispersed phase and the dispersion medium and stirring. Temporarily emulsion is formed, but within no time or after some time, that is two layers are again oil and water are separated. Why they are separated? Again, the droplets of the oil collide each other, combine each other and form the bigger particle and separated from this, and it becomes the, that is two layers are separated from the colloid emulsion system. This is the one, this is other. This is water, this is, that is the oil, separated. It's not stable. Again, it has to be stirred, thoroughly stirred, to convert into the emulsion. See, therefore, to prepare the emulsion, this oil is required and water is required. These are the essential components. And third agent is required, that is called as the emulsifying agent. Emulsifying agent. Emulsifying agent is required. Agent is required. That is, it stabilizing agent indirectly. The stabilizing agent of the emulsion is called as the, it prevents the breaking of the emulsion into the oil and water. Is called as the emulsifying agent. Emulsification should be done. If what to done, that is normally what are the emulsions? So to prepare the emulsion, water, oil and emulsifying agent is required. So, and what is the role of the emulsifying agent? It increases the stability of the emulsion. How? By creating the charge on the oil droplets, colloidal particles. What are the emulsifying agents? Normally, that is hydrophilic colloids. Hydrophilic colloids like gelatin. Gelatin is used, that is starch, agar and agar, and that is gum. There are 2-3 gums gum acacia, gum tragacanth, and gum arabic. So there are the normal ga tumma chetlu antam villages. There are different varieties of that is trees. The gum is the gel-like material. That is these are all the hydrophilic colloids. These are hydrophilic colloids. By adding the hydrophilic colloids, we can increase the stability of that is emulsions. I told you all hydrophobic colloids stability can be increased by adding the hydrophilic colloids. Therefore, hydrophilic colloids are called as the protecting agents. The colloids which increase the stability of the hydrophobic colloids are called as the protecting colloids. And its protecting power is indicated in terms of denoted in terms of the gold number. Or the other one is the Congo Rubin number. And this is the R. The mainly these are all secondary. Mainly that is soap is used. Soap, detergents are used. So these are the main one. To prepare emulsion, water, oil and soap is required. Why soap is required? Soap is the emulsifying agent, stabilizing agent. So what it do? This is now you see, this is the oil droplet, magnified oil droplet, which is this is the droplet. This is this is magnified. So what happens normally, they combine oil droplets, and convert it to the still bigger droplet. So what is the soap? Soap is nothing but the sodium salt of the carboxylic acids. They are salts, carboxylic acids, and this is sodium salt of the treatment with the sodium hydroxide and sodium carbonate. Sodium salt of the carboxylic acid is formed. But soap is not the sodium. So this R part should be big. That is more and more and more the long change, carbon chain should be present in that is the R part. That is C15, H31, and it is a chain of R parties. This is the COONA. This is sodium salt of palmitic acid. Sodium palmitate. Palmitic acid. And similarly, C17H35 COONA. This is the R part contains a carbon chain of 17 carbon atoms. Total 18. This is called as the stearic acid. So this is stearate. What stearate? Sodium stearate. These are the components of the soaps. The big acids, that is the long chain carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acid is containing the long side chain are treated with the sodium hydroxide and converted into the sodium salt. They act as the cleansing agents or surfactants. That is the emulsifying agents. See, it is like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Long, very long chain. Hydrocarbon chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is the first one. 16 card. 17. 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17. And there are total 18. Remember. 18 card. 17 plus 1 including the carbon. See, this is the sodium stearate. If this is removed and hydrogen is added here, it is called as the stearic acid. Long chain fatty acid. See, in the fatty acid, so that is in the salt, this is the sodium part, this is the that is hydrophobic part, water hating part. CC bonds and CH bonds, they hate the water. They do not establish any attractions. And this is the hydrophilic part. Hydrophilic part, water liking. The ionic part, water liking part, water hating part. So these are all, what we are using is, we are taking a long hydrocarbon chain, molecules containing the long hydrocarbon chain which hates the water, and at the end we keep an ionic group which likes the water. If this is hydrophilic part, this is hydrophobic part. It likes the non-polar part, likes the non-polar, and polar part likes the polar water. So what are you doing all these things? Now it is to this system, if you add the soap, then what happens? This is the R part will go into inside, and that is this one. This is the orientation. This is in the water. I have taken the only one droplet. This is the case, water. This is still, its head is in the water because anionic part is in the water. Its non-polar part, water hating part is moved into that is the oily part. This likes the non-polar. The oil also non-polar. This also non-polar. Therefore, it is moving into this side. So this is preferentially the oriented, aligned on that is interface of the oil and boundary. Same way. This is the as increase the concentration of the soap, this is the orientation. So originally, when it is thoroughly mixed, oil is mixed with the water, oil droplets are dispersed, but those droplets do not have any charge at all. Those are the chargeless, surface is chargeless, neutral. No interaction between that is droplet and water. Now, once you add the emulsifying agent like soap is added, that is R part of the soap. Soap contains the two parts, that is the hydrophobic part and hydrophilic part. Hydrophilic part goes into the droplet, and that is hydrophilic part will be outside this one. Surface is covered with the heads of the hydrophilic part, charged part. Now it is a sphere. Oil droplet is a sphere with negative charge. This is due to that is preferential absorption or preferential orientation of, that is the carboxylate ion on the surface. That is due to this what happens, negative charge. Now there is no question of, once these droplets, each droplet acquires the negative charge, become the negatively charged sphere, they repel each other, there is no further combination, and forming the coagulation is not possible. Otherwise, easily coagulation takes place. Therefore, for the preparation, it may be an oil in water type or water in oil type, whatever it is, that is what you have to do is, that is you have to take that is a emulsifying agent is required that increase the stability of the emulsion. The increasing the stability of the emulsion by using the emulsifying agent is called as the emulsification. That is called as the emulsification. We use a term known as take the water, add some oil, and add some that is a soap or that is emulsifying agent, and stir it. The emulsion is formed. So the newly added soap or this, that is surfactant, is increase the stability of the emulsion. That phenomena is called as the emulsification. For the emulsification, to prepare a stable emulsion, that is a emulsifying agent is must, otherwise the immediately coagulation takes place. So mostly the soaps and detergents are used in the place of this I told you at the beginning. So that is, you can use the hydrophilic colloids also. That is hydrophilic colloids, and can also gelatin, starch and gum, all these things, that is the can be used. Those are also, they form the film over the, yesterday I told you, that is they form the film over this one and protect the, that is hydrophobic colloids. So this is the emulsion formation. If it is a reverse phenomenon, what happens if it is a water in oil type? Now this is the water particle. This is the water particle. Then what happens? There also the same, this is used. This can be used. So that is what happens there. This is oil. This is water. Now this is oil medium. This is negatively charged. Negative charge inside into the water, and this is outside. Therefore, what happens? It is stabilized. This is acting as a bed. Once it is adsorbed on the surface of this, preferentially adsorbed on the, by keeping the negative charge inside and positive charge outside, then what happens? That is now it is stabilized. The surface tension is gone. The strain at the surface of the interface is lost. That becomes the stable. Or the carbon powder also used. Carbon sol is added. This is carbon, negatively charged carbon particles, that is they adsorb on this and give the, that is charge to this one surface, preferentially adsorb. Carbon is added. So this is something about the emulsification, and third agent is required for the preparation of the emulsions. Next one, de-emulsification. See, de-emulsification, emulsification, converting the oil and water into emulsion, or emulsion is the emulsification. De-emulsification, breaking the coagulation. The coagulation process of the emulsion is called as the de-emulsification. De-emulsification. Emulsification, now de-emulsification. The coagulation of the emulsion is called as the de-emulsification. How? See, easy. There are mainly, if this is the emulsion, so it is stable. Why it is stable? These droplets, the colloidal particles are acquiring the charge. So for the de-emulsification, or that is the coagulation, what is required? Remove the charge, again they combine and convert into the bigger one. So if you add the acid, like acetic acid, then what happens? If you add the acid to this, what happens? RCOOH is formed. Carboxyl COOH is formed. If this is losing, the ion is losing its charge. Colloidal particle loses its charge on addition of the electrolytes. So like acid, not only acid, any electrolyte is added, then what happens? Charge is lost, and once charge is lost, they combine each other and converts. The oil and water are separated, which is known as the demulsification. So demulsification can be done. There are several procedures by adding the electrolyte, like here acid is the best one, HCl or anything. Acid is the best one where the negatively charged ions, they take the what H plus ion and lose their charge. The resultant acid is not a very weak electrolyte. So the extent of dissociation is very less, that cannot be in the ionic form. One. And second thing is the de-emulsification can be done by, that is heating. If the heat, take the milk, heat it, what happens? The fat will separate. So the milk is covered with a cover is formed on the surface of the milk, that is a fat cover. Fat is separated from the water. So cream, that is and second one is the cooling. Take the milk and keep it in the fridge. Then what happens? The fat part is separated. So by heating, that the emulsion can be, demulsification can be carried. By cooling, demulsification can be carried. By centrifuging, by centrifugal method also. Take the milk and centrifuge it. That is, the cream will come out. That is, the fat will come out. And the third one, the fourth one is by adding the electrolyte like acid. That is, we can break this one. This is emulsion scheme. See, this is something about the emulsions. What are the properties of the emulsions? Emulsions are nothing, they are colloidal solution. They show the what all colloidal properties, no speciality at all. They show the Brownian movement, they show the Tyndall effect, they are heterogeneous systems, that is, and all properties can be, they are not visible, particles are not visible to the naked eye and can be seen under the ultra microscope. So all the properties are, they show this electrophoresis, that is electroosmosis. The all properties which we discuss are applicable to that is emulsions also. I told you at the beginning only, emulsions are the colloidal solutions, but all colloidal solutions are not emulsions. Liquid in liquid type emulsions. The next one is and the properties are same as this one, but the size of the particles are, size of the colloidal particles in the emulsion are little bigger than that of that is normal colloidal solutions. The normal colloidal solutions. And next one is that is uses of the water. The uses of colloids. Let us discuss it about colloid. See, the emulsions, that is in the metallurgical operation, sulfide ion purification, sulfide ore purification, not ion, sulfide ore purification, that is the emulsion is produced. That is, the powdered sulfide ore is added to the water and some oil is added, eucalyptus or pine oil is added. So oil plus water system to this emulsifying agent is added, that is ethyl potassium ethyl xanthate, and by passing the air thoroughly stirred, that foam is formed, that is froth is formed, the froth is formed, that is and these sulfide particles are eventually adsorbed to the surface of the froth, that is all sulfide floats come out along with the froth. See, it is the froth flotation process, purification of this one. There we are using the emulsion technique to separate. Your road making, so that is black tar. Tar is used to make the roads, BT roads, blacktopping of the road. That is the concrete, and that is the tar is mixed, and tar is nothing but that is the liquidous organic material with mixed water. Water is present in it. It is a colloidal system. And see, there are many things, leave that part, and under the heading of the applications of the colloids, let us discuss about other things. This is something about that is emulsions. Now gels. Now what are gels? These are the other type of the and other type of the colloidal systems. Gels are nothing but the solid, liquid in solid type. Gel. Gels. Gel. Colloidal system. Dispersion phase is liquid. Dispersion medium is solid. They are solid in liquid type colloidal solutions or colloidal systems. These are nothing but this your cheese. Cheese is a and example of gel, or instead of taking this, the agars are the starch gel, and you can take this is gelatin, gel prepared from the gum. So these are all can be converted into this one, salicylic acid, polymer of silicon hydroxide. It is called a form. It's called as the silicic acid, H2SiO4, silicic acid. So these are all come under the category of that is gel, more of solid, less of. See, if you may ask, you have taken all these examples in case for what? That is, these are all taken as the colloidal solutions. Yes, this is also a colloidal system. A hydrophilic colloid, how it is prepared? Hydrophilic colloid. Of solid in liquid type, right? Hydrophilic colloid of solid in liquid type. Remember, is a solid in liquid type. Liquid is this one, like starch is added to water, gum is added to the water, gelatin is added to the water, solid is the dispersed phase, and liquid is the water is the dispersion medium. Is what happens when it is kept to the air, the solvent slowly vaporizes, the water content decreases, then what happens, it becomes thick and thick and thick and thick and thick and thick. Then what happens, finally it becomes the semi-solid. See, for example, you take the rice, cook it. So the water is penetrating into the seeds of the rice. You take the kukur rice. So what is happening? It's a solid. Inside there is a water. It is a liquid in solid type. It is a semi-solidus material. Now, or else you take this is and water. To this starch is added. Small amount of the starch is added, heated. A clear solution is formed. Starch is dispersed. Is a colloidal solution. See, you heat or leave that for some time. Then what happens? The thickness of the solution gradually increases. That evaporates. The volume decreases, right? Volume decreases on heating or that is exposed to the air by losing water, and slowly it becomes the thick and it becomes the semi-solidus. So when the water is more, it is a solid and liquid type solution. If the water content is decreased, It is the liquid in solid type colloid. Now it is jelly form. That is called as the gel, the paste of the starch. In the making of the chapatis, what we do, that is we take the atta, that is the, and mix with the, that is water, we make the semi-solidus. What is this? Starch inside water. Starch is more, atta is more, that is the water is less. This is nothing but the gel. So nothing but the gel. Similarly, so that is all. The prepare the gum solution and that is exposed to the air. Then what happens? It will slowly the water will evaporate from the, that is gum solution. Thickness increases with the time. Then finally it becomes the gel-like material. It is not hard. It gel-like material is formed. So that is there. The starch content is, the gum content is more. Water content is very, very less. So gels are prepared from hydrophilic colloidal solutions. How? When hydrophilic colloids solution is the evaporated, that is exposed to the air or on heating, that is this dispersion medium is evaporated and the content of the dispersion medium decreases. Finally it becomes the semi-solidus material, that is called as the, which can, this is nothing but the more of solid and less of liquid, that is called as the gel. That is called as the gel. The process is called as the conversion of the lyophilic colloid into gel is called as the lyophilic colloid into gel is called as the gelation. This process is called as the gelation. Right? And if the gel is exposed to the air, it loses the water. If this is exposed to the air, slowly it loses the water and becomes dry. It becomes dry by losing the water. Water is totally evaporated. This process is called as the weeping of gel. Conversion of the gel into dry solid is called as, by losing water is called as the weeping of gel or syneresis. That process called as the weeping of the gel. So this dry, after this on again adding the water, again it is converted into gel. And again on adding the water, more of water, that is what happens, it changes into the colloid. For example, you take the cooked rice. So if you keep the outside for some time exposed to the air, it becomes dry. Or that is keep under the sun, then what happens? Loses and becomes the what? Hard grain, again hard piece. Gel is converted. Cooked rice piece is the gel. When exposed to the air or kept in the sunlight, then what happens? That loses the water and becomes the dry. This is the weeping of gel. That again, when kept in the water, again the dry piece is kept in the water. Again it changes to the gel. And again on heating with the water, add some more water, dissolve in the water and convert it to the hydrophilic colloid. So this is something about the gelation process and simple. There are two types of gels. That is the elastic gels, which show the what? Elastic property. And that is these are all elastic gels. That is starch gel, the gel semi-solidus material, that is elastic gel, that is gelatin, gum. These are all the elastic gels. That is they show the elasticity. And salicylic acid, and it is a non-elastic. It can't show the what? The gel which do not show the what? Elastic properties is called as the non-elastic gel. So that's all. It is a very simple procedure. That's just I told.